Hey, good morning, Vijay. Thanks for joining. And today to the masterminds, we're gonna connect and learn about you and get your experience that empower us and inspiring thoughts, so that I can get some takeaways from this today's session. Thanks for joining, Vijay. And
Thank
a quick intro. What? Sorry, Vijay. Go ahead.
thank you, Soda, for the opportunity. That's a good.
A quick intro about Vijay is he's from technical background. He's currently working in Ford as an automobile designing creative mind. He's been also doing mentoring the kids in work on robotics, and he has some a different combination of like marathon runner and also like a leader in a big company. So thanks Vijay for joining again, and let's start with your journey, where you started. Did you had any dreams to land up in automobile industry? What brings you here?
Okay, thank you, Sudha, again for the opportunity. To begin with, where I started, actually, it's a humble background, as everyone coming from. My father is a grocer. And I'm the very first graduate in the family, especially in engineering. So when I started engineering, I don't have any dream what I'm going to, where I'm landing, everything. But when started, like I have chosen mechanical engineering. So obviously, being a mechanical engineer, car is being it's one of the passion everyone wanted to work with. But days goes by, I just thought like, okay, I wanted to go when learning more and more subjects, I wanted to go in heat and mass transfer side because my one of my professor is really good in the heat and mass transfer and otherwise like the strength and materials, like wanted to focus on some structure designing and those areas when studying. Like those are all my doing all the that for first 4 years of college. I was thinking that same, like okay, I wanted to work on these fields. But once you're done with your course, for sure, like you have to do something additional to land to a job, right? That one other thing was learning CAD. So when I was in college, CAD was not that popular because like it was all the license were expensive and the industry where I was, like I was in Coimbatore, uh, people were not investing on the technology. So, but I was thinking like I wanted to learn CAD. So that was the first step brought me into an industry side. Otherwise, like I was completely into curriculum and educations.
Right.
Again, that was the very first step, learning CAD, and then moved into Maruti Udyog. That's another next step. So that was my first entry into the automotive, Maruti Udyog in India. Then thereafter, like all just went into automotive companies only. But I had a dream, like in the middle of the journey, like when I was working for the first company. It wasn't an automotive company. It was completely into milk with this textile manufacturing company,
Right.
textile machines manufacturing company. So at that point in time, I used to think I wanted to work for Hyundai, the one in Chennai, thinking that like okay, that's a company uh, which can give me much more opportunities. But I wasn't thinking about Ford at that point in time. But Ford happened like in 2 3 years after joining Maruti. I started working for Ford.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting, Vijay. So, being with like a lot of engineering fields, why mechanical? What brings you to the mechanical? Like, do you had any kind of like urge to
Uh,
be a mechanical engineer, or how it happens?
Yeah, that's a good question actually. When after the 12th grade, I had a very good, very tough time to choose the courses. Mine says like I had to be go for an engineering. Even that is not a very dream thought. I never thought about I wanted to be an engineer or I wanted to do an engineering. One of my friends' family, like is Mahadevan, like is he's got three, I mean four brothers. Everyone in his family, like they score 200 in math, It's just like template. They all scored 200 in math, and they were very passionate about engineering. It's all, I think it's father's dream. So I used to study with them. So and when I see them and when I just grow with them, I just wanted to make, okay, I also wanted to be an engineer, wanted to apply for engineering, but like all in their home, mixed of production engineering, civil engineering. There is no mechanical engineering in their home. But like in my understanding, mechanical engineering is one of the thing, like okay, you will be landing in one of the job because Coimbatore is full of machineries and everything, no. So I was thinking, okay, let me, because I was thinking I was going for some computer courses during the 12th, after 12th leave and everything. I felt somehow the programming and everything was little vague for me that time. But I was capturing some of these late concepts, all this machining and everything. I could make it little bit smoother. So I was thinking, okay, let me choose mechanical engineering. That was one of the reason. Yeah, when I
Okay.
chose mechanical engineering, I had computer science in my college. So my friends were asking, why didn't you choose that? That was very common that point in time, like choosing computer science or the ECE used
Yeah.
to be a popular thing. I just chose mechanical engineering.
Okay. That's good. So, starting with your mechanical engineering, start with Maruti, right? So, when and going with Hyundai, that's kind of like a layout as stepping stones to the automotive industry, which you told. Uh, so, from India, from you currently you're working in US in Ford, right? So, how you land up in US with Ford, and what is the journey from starting as I mean, entry level to the architect level? How was your journey, and like, can you able to give me the insight so that if anyone wants to follow the path, they can able to get it?
Oh, nice. Actually, yeah. Coming to US was not in my dream again. So started with Ford in 2006. I about to work for. I was working for Geometric Limited. Again, they are one of the PLM company. So through them, I was employed in Ford. Like they are partners in PLM um, solutions. So once joined Ford, I got an opportunity to travel to US in after a year. That was a good
Okay.
opportunity. So they asked to go for it's short trip, 2 months travel. It is so once we come here, then of course like because I know the people who I worked with that one year, so I just came to meet them. So in coming after coming here, I see the people and working with them for a month almost. You have a different thoughts, right? Like the how the work culture and everything it's different, became different. Then I had a thought like, okay, I may come here for working for next 2 or 3 years. That was a thought initially. And in 2010, I have got that opportunity also, a
Okay.
long-term opportunity. So then I thought, okay, 2, 3 years. So all these years when I worked, whenever I was in a tool like called whatever I work with, I'm into IT. So that CAD became PLM, meaning whatever uh, CAD manages all the parts and assemblies, like whatever car we are seeing, which visually how the car looks like, the everything you can see. So I that's a great opportunity I had from Maruti. So since the beginning, well, I had I'm fortunate to see the car. All the time, like whenever I work with, I can work with every model, every variant. That somehow that passion was somehow instilled in me. I wanted to see the car, and somehow like usually when we wanted to see a car, every the entire car in your monitor, no, like it's a complex process.
Mm-hmm.
It is because like those many parts it has, but the engineers they wanted to load quickly. That's the one thing. That's the one challenge I had in 2004 until today. There is a challenge like people because like now the technology has improved. Usually to open a car, like they just open a car and they come very next morning and it shows in their screen. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that kind of performance.
Okay.
So. This is one of the challenge I always hear from the engineers, like when I work with them, no, and I always have a thought like how all this will be improved, and the team whom I work with also they know this challenge. So I that's the first if you think that's a benchmark of 8 hours of opening a car, now this can open it in 8 seconds. Now today it can open
Okay.
in that's my travel. So that much time being saved now.
Oh,
So if
okay.
anybody wants an entire car, it can be seen in 8 seconds. What for what with whatever variants you have, I mean whatever number of parts you put, it can just so by that time you can just see the car, and then once you just started working on that, like what are all the level of details you want to go with, you can go with. So uh, my the travel, no, like that visually when you see something and you're experiencing something, no, it was easy for me to go in deep, like, okay, what are all the challenges, how the loading time can be saved. So it is not only loading time, it is a preparation in the back end also, no? So all the metadata and physical data, how the entire thing coming from server to the client. So those things really take me to the next level, took me to the next level.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I know like in CAD actually they started building the car. I mean, I'm being a software engineer from a computer background, I didn't know much about CAD, but I somehow relate to my work while working with my main mechanical friends. I used to see that one. So yeah, it was so fascinating to see a car moving in CAD actually, like it's in a visual screen. Yeah, that the journey you mentioned that from 8 hours it was loading initially or like more than a day. Now it comes to minutes or like within an hour. It was incredible. Yeah. So that was going in technology. How are you able to catch up or like how you are moving towards the technology? What is your what would be your uh, a learning path or like what are the things you did to catch up to your latest software from starting with CAD or now actually it could be more versions which I'm not aware of. I just want to know
Mm.
about how you do that like step by step. If you could explain, that would be helpful as well.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. Actually, like I'm just thinking about that, what I do different. Um, so when I started, like it was kind of as you said, no, like this is a bundle of tools. It is not just CAD, no, like a PLM is bundle of tools. You have to know database or Oracle. You have to know the querying, yes, the SQL part, and you have to be knowing the coding also, like to extract the data the way you require and the way it has to work. Because like the PLM is a tool which integrates multiple other applications. So CAD is one of the application. So for example, like if somebody wants to manufacture, because like only I cannot design, right? Like I have to manufacture also. To manufacture, they have to know what are all the materials it has. They will add something more on top of that. We usually call engineering bomb. That one we make when we see usually a car, a 100% car, it's called engineering bomb. Once it is going into manufacturing, it's called manufacturing bomb. So it speaks to what the tool, whatever data you have, it has to integrate with the other tool also. So we have to know all these bundle of tools, and we supposed to extract the entire data and give it to the other tool in a way the language it has to understand. So both the language has to speak each other, right? If it's a different tool.
Okay.
So that's when I understood like I have to know this the basics of everything. That's when you can deliver the things appropriate, because it's a teamwork, right? Like it's not only me. Knowing CAD
Yeah.
alone wouldn't really help. So that's when like I started learning something basics in the Java, because like the tools whatever been coded, no, in the client side it's completely Java, in the server side it's completely C++ and everything. So both the
Okay.
side of coding you have to know at least to the level of if anything happening when you execute, if something failing, you should be in the level of understanding why it is failing. If That's when you can communicate with the team, and as well as the team will understand what you are expecting. So that's a when you collaborate, no, especially you have to have that language skills to say that, like, okay, for example, I have to debug. So the debug is one of the simple word which will come when you are a software engineer.
Yeah.
When I say there is a problem, how will I explore, or how will I find a solution? No, they may not really understand. Like, okay, when I say no, we have to debug this particular thing, then it is catching their mind. Okay, then I can work with the software engineer, saying like, okay, this is a problem. This is when it is crashing because like it couldn't handle this particular load. When I say bomb, they may not understand. So the bomb
Yeah.
has to be converted to load. So those are all the terms. Initial days, I was catching up, especially
Okay.
when you work different region zones. Like I used to be in AP, India, like, and the person who was working from North America. Already there is a language barrier in the communication, but again these terms and those things, I started working with that. And so when you are also programming, or when you are also working on code, only you will be getting this uh,
Yeah.
words. And those started, and then I started listening other part of the world, like how it is happening in, because like this challenge is not only for Ford or any one company, right? Like it should be a challenge for the other companies also. So when I work with, usually it's all cards-based tools. When I say cards-based tools, it's from a company, Siemens or any Dassault Systems. They make these tools and then they sell it to Fords, and we have to customize according to the OEMs. So that's a
Okay.
major role we play around. So when I work with the Siemens or Dassault Systems, right, it's like they are the mother company of these products. They just usually share like what all the other companies are also facing. So then we'll know, okay, what is happening in the external world, and what technology are they using? Will it be useful for us? So those are all the learning, so that I
Oh,
was
nice,
going
nice,
through.
Vijay. Nice, Vijay. Yeah. So from starting with that, right, you started with that, and now actually, like, I see that we have like evolved into EV markets and like come up with like a lot of technology involved. I always been like admiring Ford because like they are in pioneers, like the technology wise, they are very great. They started with early when I in first the car which I drove in Ford was amazing when compared to the other one. So what is next happening in Ford actually? Like I see you are doing with Metaverse and UI, how it gets integrated with the car. I know about Metaverse, but how it is getting integrated with car. I just want to learn about it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, multiple things in that one question. Um, so what is Ford is doing next to the sense like commonalizing the platforms. So when you are working with multiple platforms in the manufacturing, no, like there are many challenges. You have to have different plans for different vehicles. But when you just make it into one platform, then like with one or multiple industries, so everything goes on the same production line. So the same platform concept is the key thing which is coming up now.
Okay,
And the metaverse thing, how is it into automotive, right? Mm, so um, it's Ford is being a global company. It's kind of where most of the parts you see it's co-developed when in multiple regions. So when I
okay,
say like, okay, let me take an example of a body, I mean the outer skin of the car, entire car, right? So if I'm working on a body system, like styling is one of the thing, right? The
yeah,
styling, maybe the styling engineer is present in US, but that modeler, like who's working on the particular technology, or like the somebody who's very good in Australia, they both has to collaborate, right? Today what they are doing, like mostly the CAD is being very much evolved. So if somebody updating the CAD, they can just see in the very next minute it's being saved, and they can just do. But the collaboration is more of a 2D, though it's in the 3D in the system. It is not very much into, you will not experience what is being done. You
okay,
both be when, for example, like when I see when we both are, it is not, we used to say a clay model. Usually the physical model of the car, the entire model of the car, it's done in the clay. I mean, you will see the 3D. I mean, actual car you will be seeing in the entire skin. You'll be seeing in the clay or in a wooden
Okay.
one of these things. Usually, clay is very much flexible, so people go for that. That physical experience, they both wouldn't be having when they
Okay.
collaborate, because even if somebody is with the clay model, one of the maybe the NA person, North America person, maybe standing with the clay, but who's in the Australia other end, he may not be with the clay. He can see, maybe if we go for a video call, he can see, but he cannot experience, like maybe if he stand close by, he cannot see, oh, the car is taller than him or no, no,
Mm-hmm.
not. So the metaverse, you have that experience, that
Okay.
physical entire physical car. If he is in a metaverse setup, he can be with the car, and they both can be in the same, I mean, environment. Like, I mean, if somebody is touching the door handle, he can feel it. The next person in North America can see that, okay, he's touching the door handle and he's pulling out, and he can, so they'll have a physical experience also in that same room, in the metaverse room. So that's a big
Oh,
advantage, because they're not only working on internal parts, right? So they're working physically also. They could experience what is happening to the consumers, right? That consumer feel also, because the end of the day, everyone is a consumer of the car.
yeah.
So they'll have a consumer experience when they design a car. Because like when only with a CAD, you will be thinking like everything is perfect, but when it's coming for a product to use, you will not have that experience when you develop this. This is all I'm talking about 2 years before. The
Mm-hmm.
experience what consumers will have after 2 years, know that they had to have in a first hand. That's a first
Okay.
hand experience. Yeah, that's a thing that they will have with the metaverse.
Oh, wow. Nice. Actually, like it's crazy, right? Like, I mean, interacting with two different regions of the world just with the virtual experience and also like having some kind of like a feel. I mean, that was I mean, that I'm very curious about learning about is like how you can feel that they are opening the door, right? In metaverse. I mean, I'm not much into metaverse, but that's very, very great actually, like great technology evolvement.
It is this technology is available, maybe like last 2 3 years this is available, but the 5G, I mean, all the speed, everything matters, no, like the networking,
Mm-hmm.
and then they use visual lenses right now, all the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
virtual yeah, whatever you take, like Meta or Apple's Vision Pro or
Yeah.
anything, those are all the supportive tools. That is definitely, but how we are evolving, like how better we use these technologies, that those are all evolving and being used now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Vijay. Um, so what was your biggest wow moment? Like you started with Maruti, then Ford, and then like two different technology, not companies, and then moving back to Ford. So which was the biggest wow moment so far you have done in the industry? Like, I mean, you might have a lot of, but what was the biggest wow moment uh, in your career?
Uh, yeah, great question. Actually, what I think now was the level of data. So now everywhere AI, right? Artificial intelligence, and mm, so the when because I just I worked on two different companies. One is a startup, and the other one is the Ford. Ford is being very legacy company, and other side startup company like Ladstone or Landex. So the level of data which you work with Ford is really massive. So because like with the 125, 150 years of experience, the data what Ford got, and the data will bring more complexity also. Like one, we are wealthy. When you think like we have more data, it's wealthy, but at the same time the complexity increases. Like when you work on many products, so that's a wow thing, I would say. Think like that's a challenge. It's a challenge, and again, it's a big. You are really fortunate to have those kind of data to work with.
Okay.
That's what I
Okay.
always wonder about. That I felt only after leaving food and then
Oh,
coming
okay.
back. I always realize that okay, data is the key thing, and yeah, I have an opportunity to work with multiple data.
Okay, so that brings you a boomerang to Ford again.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
nice,
good. Yeah.
nice, Vijay. Yeah. Another interesting part about you is like, see, you're more on technical, working as like in an automotive industry. What brings into you to like a marathon runner? Like it's a two different feel. I see that. How you started
Mm.
as a marathon runner and like how it can able to relate to your work or like how you apply these techniques to your work.
Okay, yeah, that's again a good thought provoking. So running or not even the walking was not part of my routine actually. Walking, I never done that. Like I see people who walk, but I never had an intention like why can't I walk or anything. But one in 2019, once my good friend like he just asked me to come for a walk. I just like I said like okay, let's go for a walk. But after a mile, he just said let's go for another mile. So I
Okay.
just said like if I go for another mile, it's going to be 2 mile. Then when coming back, like it's going to be 4 mile. I never walked more than a mile, so better let's
Okay.
go back a mile. He said, just are you tired? He was asking. No, I wasn't tired. So he just
Okay.
pulled me like, the 2 more miles. Then I said, okay, I'm happy that in the world I am going to today I walk. I'm going to walk 4 miles. He said, are you tired? I'm not tired, but like this is already 4 mile. When going back, I may be tired. I was telling. Then he said, "Okay, let's go for another mile. Then let's see 3 miles. Then you go. You'll just finish 6 mile when you
Okay.
come back." I was because like it's for 4 or 5 people. He was asking everyone. Everyone was yes. Like if I say no, then it looks like odd. So I said okay, let's go for a 6 mile today. Like it's going to be a journey for me. Then I went for a third mile. Then he said like if you this is a 8 mile loop. If you go this way, you are just finishing a 6 mile without completing the loop. If you go for another mile and then we'll just go for a loop. So we'll just go back to the same place if you just finish that 8 mile loop. It was
Okay.
really shocked. Okay, so this is going to be crazy today. Like I'm going to have a leg pain or anything. So I just walked. We walked like it's almost 3 hours. I think 3+ hours. So we finished that walk. I was so happy when I reached that line. Like it's 8.25 mile loop. I took a picture and I shared with the family, like saying like, okay, I finished 8 mile walk today. I was so that was first step. I started with the walking. Then it became, he said, like, let's go for a 3 minutes run, 3 minutes walk the very next week. Then it started as that way. Then it's it added into my metabolism. Like, okay, then I started running almost weekly, 3 days. Okay, I just go for a 2 mile run. Some I walk and run. So that became habit. Like I liked it very much. Liked it when I go for a run. I then it became 4 mile. Then 4 mile was my maximum running
Okay.
and walking every day. Not every day. I mean weekly, 3 4 days.
Okay.
Then lately, that I used to think, okay, I'm a good runner or a walker. I'm just working on this. But lately, when working with the people, they said like, okay, there is an half marathon. You can go for a 13 mile and everything. But it was not in my thought at all. But
Okay.
after joining PLA, the very first or second session, like Vamshi was asking, what is your other passion? I was telling I used to run. So what is your running? Like, did you attend any half marathon or anything? I said no. Half marathon is 13 mile. I cannot dream. I never thought about that. I cannot go for that far. So he said very. Next moment. So do you think to do that? I said like in October there is a race. Maybe I can plan for that. In March I said for
Okay.
October, but it like very next week. If you finish, you can try because already I'm walking 8 miles. I know that
Yeah.
loop. That 8 mile run also I have done sometimes, but not 13 miles. He said the very next week you can try that. Let me know. So I was like, since he pushed me, I just tried. Very next week, I could do. Kasi was with me the first half marathon. In April itself, I have done one 13 mile. Then that was my
Okay.
first push. And then that during October season, like the when finishing that end line, I had some thought like, okay, why can't I do full when
Okay.
finishing? Because like, I was very better. Like I finished in 2 hours 12 minutes. I didn't expect that I half marathon to finish in 2 hours 12 minutes. My mind thought, okay, if I go for a full, I can finish in 4.5 hours because I finished 2 hours 12 minutes. Then half, then four full, I can finish in 4 hours 30 minutes. I didn't think about
Okay.
the challenge. It's a completely a radical thought, a radical commitment. I just committed that one when I finished half marathon, I was thinking next year I'm going to do full. So
Okay.
somehow it was kind of in my mind like I wanted to do full. So I completed full. That thought only driven me.
Oh,
So
nice,
that's how
nice.
now I'm good to run any point in time for 5 miles any day. Like very next day, if somebody wants to run for a 5 miles, I can run. So with the proximity of friends and everything, I could in a week maybe I can run 15 miles in a stretch if it's a Saturday morning. So with the right people, or I mean. Not, I wouldn't say right people, but like with the regular people whom I run with, I can go for 15 miles.
Good.
That became the routine, yeah.
Good that like the proximity and like you have I mean, empowering, I mean, a group or someone that they push you, I mean, push you a little bit, right? Like that gives more momentum. I agree with it, and thanks for
Exactly.
that.
Planning or whatever, completely the credit goes to the friends and proximity only. I never thought about I wanted to do, but all happened with the proximity.
Okay, Vijay. Yeah, fine. I mean, that's great inspiration for me. Like lot of takeaways for me actually. Like I want to continue with this fun-filled session, but due to limited time, we want to cut short it today, and like we can have a like another session later actually. And do have questions on like how we can continue in the next session actually. And that the sessions I mean the questions I had is like. How you get into 3D printing and like and empowering the kids in robotics. That's what I want to continue with. But for now, actually, like we can just go closing with the final thoughts. What's your final thoughts about the world which is evolving with AI, and what are the things the next generation should learn about it? Yeah, I mean, just your final thoughts for today.
Sure. So Uh, actually, we have just covered bit of AI, so AI is more of it's bringing the results from the data what it got, right? So the similar way that the human also, I mean, anybody, like, not kids and us, right? Anybody, we could really come to a conclusion or like this is whatever we are getting AI is and I mean, the final results. The when we see
Yeah.
the final results to accept that results, we have to have some understanding like, okay, is this result is correct or not? Like I cannot use it because it may be wrong or it may be right or it may be over. It may not be required for me. That result may not be required for me for the requirement what I have got. It may
Mm-hmm.
be or may not suit. Maybe it will be, but it's a better solution, but it may not suit for my requirement. So
Okay.
unless we have those kind of existing knowledge or existing experience, or like I mean, some or most of the time we may not have an existing experience, but to the level of understanding, okay, can I use it? To that, we should have that level of experience. Anybody, unless until if we expose somebody to AI, okay, start consuming whatever you are getting from the AI. That is something which we really have to think twice before telling to kids.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that's my understanding about AI, and I wanted to go with that suggestion with the kids.
Okay, nice. I mean, that's again like interesting thought. Is like, I mean, teach them how to use AI, and also like where to use AI so that they get involved with the knowledge so that they can use it right in a right way. That's great. Yeah, yeah.
Like if they
Thank
are
you,
really
Vijay.
pioneering with some if they are going with, for example, if they are learning some Java and they wanted to use AI to expedite their learning or anything, they have to know the basics. And when they just wanted to expedite, they definitely it is an expedition. I mean, it can be a better tool for guiding them.
Sure, Vijay. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That was interesting and like a lot of takeaways. It was like a lot of curiosity built in me for with metaverse and like the automobile industry. Thank you for your time and like thanks again for everything.
Yeah, thank you for the questions. Actually, it really helped me to understand where I am and where I come from and how I connected the dots. Really, it helped. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sudarshan, for me.
yeah. Thank you, Vijay. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you.